Alrighty, so let's go through a couple notes. I have a handful of notes from the matches that we played. So first of all, against Bison, but this will be relevant against other characters. There's quite a few things in the game. Bison most specifically, that he does stuff that's -5 or -4 on block. For modern Ed, there would be, for classic Ed, there'd be a difference between his 4-frame punish and his 5-frame punish with crouch light kick, but modern Ed only gets his 4-framer. So one thing that normally you would have to know is that for Bison, his light and his medium scissor kick are -5, but his heavy one is only -4. But for modern Ed, it doesn't really matter. He only has to care about, because it's going to be the same punish for him either way. So you're going to go ahead and do auto light for your 4-framer. And then, what's the modern input for this? And then heavy blitz. So, yeah, I had forgotten to mention that, but that happened over and over while we were playing. So yeah, it's punish counter, stand jab into heavy blitz for your 4 and 5-frame punishes. After that, next for your strong combo punishes, for your supers and your EXDPs and such, it depends. So depending on what the thing is, if it's minus enough that you can get a neutral jump, then you'll want to do neutral jump into heavy punch, heavy kick, or standing heavy like this, and then do stand medium punch into drive rush. So if you can get a full jump in, which some supers and some DPs you can, you would want to do, what's the input for this in modern? Oh my god. Like that, okay? But for regular EXDP, the supers and EXDPs that you don't know if you can get a full neutral jump punish or not, you're going to do just that, probably. And then if you have high drive gauge, just do that. So loop it into... And also, a thing to note is that when you have high resources and you land certain hits, it's important to know, like, to see and be able to eyeball your current resources and judge whether or not you're able to kill, or at least get close to killing, so that you can dump your damage. That was one thing that you were missing, is that you didn't know, like, splurge combos. You weren't comfortable. You always did bread and butter combos for the most part. By the end of it, I had realized that you weren't doing strong meaties from your regular things, so you were just doing lights. So, for example, wake up, backdash, or wake up, back jump. So when you throw, and you didn't shimmy that much, but when you did shimmy, so my only thing to worry about was 2 lights into that, which he doesn't get the same Oki off of. He doesn't get close enough after the kill rush for a forward throw, and it's not a lot of damage. So this is a weak punish for me just holding up, and it will be the same for lots of other players who abuse jumping. So, classic, this is an important point, so that not all Ed play is going to be the same as. So for classic, he doesn't have this same problem because he has a very strong meaty in crouching medium kick, and if he's holding up, right? If he's holding up, no counter hit required. You get a nice fat combo that does twice the damage of what you would get with your jabs, and gives you better Oki and everything else. However, obviously, in modern you don't have that button. So other buttons that you could have used as well, he also doesn't have great access to. So instead, modern Ed has to get a bit more creative and complex with some of his meaties. So if you have high drive gauge, it may be worth doing... Okay, so there's a few things that you can do. Now the first thing is that standing medium punch, so like this, auto medium, it has 3 active frames, which means that if you hit it on the first active frame, it's +6, okay, which means that you can link it into his jab target combo, which is okay. It does 1600 damage, but it doesn't get a knockdown. It's only +1 afterwards, not +2 for the throw. It doesn't have corner carry, etc., so it does like 500 more damage than doing just light blitz. But you could also do medium punch, and then link light punch into medium blitz, and then you would get the same damage, etc., so that would be better. But it's still not good, because that's not a good knockdown. So if you have high drive gauge, you would be able to do auto medium, auto light, drive rush, like that, and then you could get Oki from there. And that's not great, obviously, because you're spending 3 bars of drive gauge to do what Classic does with no resources. But one option that you do have available to you, if you are confident, is meaty stand medium punch. Now, you can't set this up, you have to do this yourself, you have to time this manually. So, anytime that you're landing that, if you manually time, as you can see I did a slight delay, meaty stand medium punch. Let's do it off the auto combo, for example. So when you do this auto combo and you kill rush forwards, you're +9, which isn't plus enough to do a whole lot. If you do stand medium punch immediately, it's too early. If you do heavy punch, you're not plus enough to do anything interesting afterwards, unless it's a counter hit, which it won't be if they're just holding up. So instead, if you can manually do a slight delay before your medium punch, you can land it meaty, and then you can link that, which is just as good as what you would get in Classic. However, you only have a 2-frame window to time this correctly. So, if you're not confident about that, which I feel like you would not be comfortable with timing a manual 2-frame window for your meaty, instead, you may just have to do, again, stand medium punch into the jab target combo, which sucks, or just do 2 lights into a drive rush combo, which also sucks, or commit to doing, or if you have high drive gauge, you can also commit to just doing standing heavy punch drive rush, and then if they block it, you can apply drive rush pressure, and if they get hit, you can link that, and the heavy kick. Heavy punch will force them to stand up, even if they were crouching, so that combo will always work consistently, even if they got hit, counter hit crouching. And your other option is to do the medium punch target combo, which does have some potential risks on block. If you don't cancel it into anything, it's -8. There are ways that characters can punish the various things that you do afterwards, so the safest option would probably be to cancel it into this fireball. That being said, there are ways that characters can punish even that. So, it's not the absolute safest thing, but it's pretty safe, and you probably won't get punished for it very often. Because the way that characters have to punish it are somewhat awkward, and they have to guess whether or not you're going to do the fireball follow-up, or just take the spark as is, like that. So I would say this is probably your best bet for a meaty if you expect them to backdash or jump or something. But, however, Ed also has access to some other setups that he can do in mid-screen off of different combos, okay? So off of your auto heavy combo, you don't have anything special that you can do. This is the one we've been looking at. There's nothing particularly special that you can do with this. So I would recommend just doing the medium punch. However, if you do land the medium punch target combo, either by itself or as part of a drive rush combo from your lights, you can go into heavy blitz, and because you're hitting them higher in the air with the heavy blitz, you kill rush forward immediately, and you're +11 instead of plus, what was the other one, +9? So if you kill rush forwards and then do an immediate auto heavy, so stand heavy punch, you will hit them meaty, and you don't need a counter hit to combo off this. See? So that is a strong setup, and that is what you get from the medium punch target combo into heavy blitz. There's another knockdown, or a couple of them, that will also be relevant. So whenever you land charge flicker or EX flicker, a lot of the times you go for this. This is plus 10 rather than plus 11. So if you were to kill rush and then do an auto heavy punch, you're only plus 6 instead of plus 7, so you don't get the medium punch target combo after that. So it's not quite good enough. However, instead of doing light upper into heavy blitz, you can do this into another EX flicker, and this is worth doing. This is still a good combo. And then you do kill rush, an immediate kill rush into the fastest punch possible, heavy blitz, and then you kill rush forwards. Kill rush forwards, and then you're plus 8. So this one gives you if you immediately kill rush and then do an immediate auto medium, you get a meaty stand medium punch. And it doesn't need a counter hit to link into that combo. So, those are two combos that are pretty relevant to you. So, if you land like raw, like button into EX flicker, doing another EX flicker, kill rush punch, kill rush into an immediate medium punch, and that will give you a much stronger meaty than just doing lights. So, those are a couple mid-screen combos and meaties that will give you much more damage if they hold up, if they just jump backwards, than just doing jab, jab, medium blitz as your combo. And then, that's like the main thing. I was looking over our matches. You don't shimmy a lot of the time in certain situations, so one of the things is, after you get a jump in on block, a lot of the times you just do a button into a special, or just like a button into whatever, like looking to hit confirm it or something, and you're not using the opportunity to apply mix that much, so you're not often going up for throws or doing a shimmy. All of those instances are places, and also when you do pull in with EX flicker or charge flicker, the +4 that you get afterwards is a little awkward because it's difficult to shimmy them here because you can't just walk back because you're too close to them. If they delay tech, they'll just throw you if you're trying to walk out. But the way that you can do this is if I have him do block, normal throw after a delay setting of, let's say, 6 frames. So let's say he's delay teching after 6 frames. If I walk backwards, I can't shimmy him. But if I backdash, I can shimmy him. And there's 3 things that I would recommend, and I wrote them down on this note. Include backdash, delay, crouch light punch, stand jab, and stand heavy punch after charge flicker or EX flicker on block. So the first thing, backdash for your shimmy. The second thing, wait for a second and then do... So what you want to do is wait for a second, just crouch block, and then do crouch jab, stand jab. Like that. And this will catch them walking backwards, or doing a delay walk backwards, and this will catch them delay teching. Like so. And then the next thing that you can do is just do stand heavy punch. And if they press a delay button, or if they delay tech into it, you get a counter hit, and then you get a combo. Overall in your matches, yeah, so your meaties and mid-screen are pretty weak, and in the throw, you definitely abuse the throw loops a lot, but even then I was thinking that if I had just jumped over you a lot of the times while you got close to me, like really close into melee range, that you probably wouldn't have punished me that hard. I was wary of you trying to perfect parry me when I jumped cross-up, but you didn't really do that much, so I should have abused more cross-up jumps to see how you responded to that. But yeah, standing heavy punch, light flicker, a couple random things. Another thing that you were consistently getting hit by is whenever I would do something like drive rush low, so I would do... So after I would do a drive rush, I would go low, or just do like button into drive rush low, or low low, and you would almost always get hit by the low afterwards, because you're holding back a lot, and then you're not going to crouch block fast enough when you see the drive rush cancel, and keeping it on crouch block for a second to make sure you're not getting hit by low low, a quick low low, and then a lot of the actual issues were just like basic mistakes. A little too trigger happy with doing the heavy punch auto combo, so you were always like kill rushing and got counter hit by that a lot. And that would have been, if we were to play again, that would be a bigger issue for you if it kept happening, because I was doing a pretty weak punish to it, but I rethought about how I would approach it, and I now know a much stronger punish to that mistake of yours. So that could be a big issue for you. So yeah, don't be too trigger happy with the heavy punch confirms. You know, your drive gauge is more of a management thing than trying to confirm heavy punch. And the other things were just like blatant executional errors, like a couple times you accidentally got like heavy punch into EX uppercut. I'm sure that was an accidental modern input. And yeah, none of this other stuff really matters that much. I would say the awkward part for Ed for doing drive rush pressure is that your easiest neutral skip that he gets is medium kick, drive rush, stand jab. Now the only issue with this is that if you actually do get the hit, then you try to throw, your throw will whiff and you'll probably get punished for it. And it's very hard to avoid doing that. Even the best players in the world, on any character, this will happen to sometimes, when they do drive rush jab into a tick throw or something. For Ed, it's just kind of unavoidable because, one, when he does medium kick drive rush jab, there is a gap. So it's always possible that they'll get counter hit there. Whereas a lot of other characters, they don't have gaps, so if they block the first hit, they're guaranteed to block the second hit as well. So basically, I would say, and Ed also doesn't have another drive rush button that leaves him in throw range, except for forward heavy punch. And that's only +1. Now, being +1 is not the worst thing. I think there's lots of players that don't abuse the +1, because all +1 means is you get the same strike throw shimmy situation, only you carry greater risk if you try to throw and the opponent mashes jab. That's the only difference. But you can still frame trap them with jabs, etc. It's not a bad strike throw shimmy situation to be +1. So I would say drive rush forward heavy punch is good. Is a good scenario. But let's see. But other than that, he can only do drive rush jab to get in. Now, his other things that he could do drive rush crouch jab, but that's kind of the worst of both worlds because it's still a light, so it's still going to be hard. You have 2 more frames to see, or 3 more frames to see whether or not it hit before you commit to your throw. But basically, it's only +1, so your throw will lose to mashing, and you're still probably going to make a mistake and accidentally throw them when your thing hit and be 2+ and have your throw whiff. So I would say, instead of that, I would say the things that Ed players sometimes do is, one, you'll just do drive rush jab and just hope that you don't get a counter hit accidentally. And Ed players would probably structure their offense in such a way that if they think the opponent is liable to defend themselves in such a way that they're getting counter hit by these jabs, or doing delay jabs or something, they would not go for tick throws. They would frame trap them in some other way. So they would just do like medium kick that into something like that. And then once they're confident that the opponent is actually blocking, they would do more into immediate tick throws or more into like slight delay tick throws so that they can absolutely confirm that the opponent didn't get hit by the jab. But you have to be confident that the opponent's not mashing like crazy in order to go for stuff like that. The other thing that Ed players will sometimes do is do drive rush into 2 jabs, because this will still leave him in throw range. That being said, obviously, you're going from something plus to a -1 into throw. Now, Ed can still frame trap here by doing the 3rd jab in the sequence. For modern Ed, you'll have to let go of holding auto to press the 3rd jab, because if you hold auto and just mash jab, you only get 2 jabs. You can't get the 3rd one. So, auto, and then... So you have to hold auto to get the 1st jab, and then you let go of auto, and then just mash jab to get the last one. That being said, for modern Ed, classic Ed is a little bit significantly better here, because classic Ed has the ability to do this, which is if you do the drive rush into the 2 jabs, and you expect the opponent to mash, in case you go for a throw or something, because it's going to have a gap. So if the opponent mashes after a bit with, like, whatever... After 3 hits, Ed can do this. He can go crouch jab, and then crouch jab lasts a little longer than stand jab. It's low, and on counter hit, it's +5. And then off of the +5 on counter hit, he can convert into crouch light kick. So, classic Ed has access to this. Modern Ed has no such thing. So instead, he doesn't have really anything here. But yeah, if the opponent is teching your throws and such, when you do like medium kick, drive rush into throw, etc., you want to do deep drive rush action. So deep drive rush, like a significant delay into like... One thing you can do is 2 stand jabs, or stand jab medium, if you want a stronger hit, etc., or delay into stand medium punch. This is what I would probably recommend. Do like a big gap into stand medium punch. Like so. Yeah, I think that is just, you're still kind of, you're not in throw range, but you can stop the opponent from walking backwards after doing drive rush medium punch by doing crouching medium punch into the fireball. Like so. Or doing another stand medium punch as a frame trap.